Good afternoon and welcome to alternative commentary here on the Commentary Hub. It's Premier League action as Tottenham Hotspurs take on Wolverhampton Wanderers. Tottenham doing fairly well so far in the league, unbeaten so far in their opening two matches. Wolves with a defeat on open weekend to Leeds United and then a draw last time out against Fulham. It's not been the best starts for Bruno Lage in this season. Antonio Conte managed to get a 2-2 draw last Sunday at Stamford Bridge thanks to a last-minute goal from Harry Kane, which is a rarity for Harry Kane to score in the month of August. He rarely scores in the month of August when playing for him, and he'll be able to make sure that happens again today. We will be getting ready for kick-off and handing over to your match commentator very, very shortly. We'll be bringing you the full match coverage of Tottenham against Wolverhampton Wanderers. I can just see a few of the players just going through their final touches ahead of kick-off and before they get ready to come into the tunnel and emerge out onto the field at the Tottenham Hotspur. Later today in the Premier League, we've got Crystal Palace against Aston Villa, Everton against Nottingham Forest, and Forest, what a start they've had, beating West Ham United last weekend. Fulham with 2 draws to their name so far, including a draw against Liverpool on opening weekend, take on Brentford, who absolutely wiped the floor with Manchester United last weekend by 4 goals to 0. They didn't just wipe the floor, they smashed them. And Leicester City will take on Southampton at 3 o'clock at the King Power Stadium. And Leicester have been buoyed by the news this morning that Jamie Vardy has signed a new contract. I'll tell you the full length of that contract a little bit later on. And then the tea time kick-off at 5:30 sees Bournemouth, newly promoted Bournemouth, take on Arsenal. The other lunchtime kick-off today comes from the Scottish Premiership as Hibernian take on Rangers. Elsewhere in the Scottish Premiership today, Dundee United take on St Mirren, Motherwell take on Livingston, Ross County take on Kilmarnock, St Johnstone take on Aberdeen. And in the Championship, fixtures in the Championship today include Birmingham City against Wigan Athletic, Burnley against Blackpool, Preston against Watford, QPR against Rotherham United, Reading against Middlesbrough, Sheffield United versus Blackburn Rovers, Stoke City against Sunderland, Swansea City against Luton Town, and West Bromwich Albion against Hull City. All those games in the Championship today kick off at 3 o'clock. If you're fans of Coventry City and Huddersfield Town and wondering why I've not mentioned your fixture this afternoon, that game has been postponed due to the state of the CBS Arena, Coventry Building Society Arena, to give his full title because of the Commonwealth Games which took place in July. The pitch was not ready. That's the 3rd successive home game for Coventry which has been postponed. We're almost ready to hand across to your match commentators, standing by and sitting just a few places away as we get ready for kick-off at the brilliant Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in the Premier League. Tottenham Hotspur are taking on Wolverhampton Wanderers, and to bring you the first half and guide you through the game, it's time for me to hand over to your match commentator. Very good afternoon. It's rarity we game for live matches, but it's a very good afternoon today to John JB Stuttard. Over to you, JB.
Thank you, Russ. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium for alternate commentary. And I just want to say it's a privilege to be here. Excuse me. We'll start that again. Well, good afternoon, everybody. And, Tottenham Hotspur, they certainly got a good draw last week, but it's a battle of the 2 warring managers because we had Jose Sarr on opening day working with Jesse March, and of course we had Antonio Conte last week and all those shenanigans with Thomas Tuchel. Before I bring you the 2 lineups, Conte is not serving any touchline ban. He got fined 15 grand from the FA inquiry in midweek, and that is the case. If you're wondering what Thomas Tuchel got, he got a 35 grand fine and a 1-match touchline ban, which he'll serve this weekend. Right, let's check on the 2 teams then, shall we? Because I'm sure you're all dying to know this important team news. especially if you're Tottenham and Wolves fans tuning in today. Let me tell you the two lineups. Hugo Lloris is in goal for Tottenham. Then it's Davison Sanchez and Eric Dyer and Ben Davies and Emerson Royal. And then it's Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, the Scandinavian player. And then it's Rodrigo Bentancur, Ivan Perisic, the Croatian. Then it's Dejan Kulusevski and Harry Kane, who scored in that 2-2 draw last week. He got the late equaliser, of course, and then the evergreen Yeon-min Son of South Korea up front. For Wolves, well, they've got a debutant in course in Mateus Nunes, who signed in midweek from Sporting Portugal for an undisclosed fee. He starts up front, but let me give you the full 11, Sarah. Jose Sarr's in goal. A back four of Otto, Collins, Max Kilman and Ait Nouri. And it's Ruben Neves, who plays in the centre of a three-man midfield, which includes Moutinho and Nunes on right and left flanks. And then Nunes, of course, will play on the left-hand side of the three-man midfield, the debutant. And it's Neto, Podence and Graders who go up front. The substitutes quickly for Spurs: Forster, Doherty, who's a former Wolves player, of course, Lengele, Tangana, Bissouma, Ryan Sessegnon, Brian Gill, Lucas, and Richarlison, of course, signed for big money from Everton. For Jose Sarr, Sarkic, the goalkeeper, Nelson Semedo, the former Barcelona player, Willy Boly, Gomez, Leandro Dendoncker, Kundal, the young lad coming through, Adama Traore, Wang, and Raul Jimenez, the Mexican. Well, it's the battle of the two warring managers, as I say. Jose Sarr, who had a bit of a spat with Jesse Marsch on opening day when Wolves lost to Leeds at Ellen Road. And, of course, that big spat at the end of Chelsea there, Chelsea-Tottenham, where Conte and Tuchel really had it out with each other. As I say, Tuchel came off worst in the fines and suspensions that were dished out. He got a one-match touchline ban and a 30 grand fine, and 35 grand fine, and Conte only 15 grand. Mind you, the way those two managers last week were being paid, that'll be changed down the back of the sofa. Away we go. No taking in a knee, I've noticed either. So away we go. But we should also highlight in every game that we do that there is no room for racism in football as well as life. So we're back. We're well and truly underway. Spurs are taking a goal to my left. The referee today, incidentally, Simon Hooper from Swindon in Wiltshire. Adrian Holmes and Mark Scholes are the two assistants, as a throw-in has been given to Tottenham in line with the 18-yard box. The fourth official is Robert Jones, and Lee Mason is the VAR official across at Stockley Park. We're in London today, so there we go. Ben Davies with an early touch on the left-hand side for Tottenham Hotspur. Back in field to Højbjerg, on to Son, back to Højbjerg again, and now Son takes it forward, runs forward, and again tackles flying in there. Wolves in the old gold with black shorts, and Tottenham in white shirts and dark blue shorts, in case you're wondering about colours this afternoon. So we're hoping for a highly competitive game, and hopefully will be played in a very, very good manner this afternoon. We hope so anyway. So we hope that we bring you a good match here for you live today. It should be also worth noting at this early stage of the season that Wolves haven't won a game. They did score in the defeat against Leeds. Daniel Podence scoring, it put them in front, and then Leeds came back to win by 2-1. And then, of course, Spurs thrashed Southampton here 4-1 on opening day, and then of course they went on to draw 2-2, having to battle back from 2-1 down late on for Harry Kane to score a late equalising goal, which got them out of trouble and took a point away from Chelsea. And then we had all that football with Tuchel and Conte. It's going to be a real battle royale this afternoon. There is no two ways about that. And it should be a cracking atmosphere, as it always is for these sort of occasions. And, of course, we're bringing it to you live and free on the TC Hub and all the platforms. I should tell you all the platforms that are participating in today's broadcast. We are on the TC Hub itself. These are the YouTube channels. TC Hub YouTube channel, JB Sports, Storm FM, and the TC Hub 2. They're the YouTube channels. And we're also live on Twitch as well, on our Twitch channel as Harry Kane goes forward. and the ball had a play for a goal kick. We played 3 minutes, nothing really as much has happened so far in this opening exchanges of the game, but it's been it's a game that really has the hallmarks of being a quality game when you look at the talent from both sides on the field. Kane's first touch really took it a little bit too far, and the ball went out of play just to the left of goal. 184 goals he scored in Premier League history. That's the 4th most in Premier League history. He's level with Aguero in that score, but he could go above Sergio Aguero into 4th outright if he does score today against Wolves. As Højbjerg now gets possession on the left-hand side, spreads it out towards Davinson Sanchez, and Sanchez has to go backwards. Oh, Rob Emerson Royal, down Davinson Sanchez, down Eric Dyer, who plays at the central of the defence. It looks like a 3-man defence with Ben Davies on the left-hand side, looking at the shape of Tottenham. Remember, Tottenham going into this game 4th at the start of play. Wolves 10 places worse off in 14th with a point. But at this stage of the season, the league position doesn't mean too much. We're only into the 3rd match. It's when you get into. It's when teams start to weigh when they're 10 games in and stuff, things like that. Although Rochdale didn't think about that during the week when they harshly sacked Robbie Stockdale after 4 successive defeats at the start of the season. I think they should have given him a little bit longer to try and turn it around, maybe till the 10th game or something like that. But Rochdale, the first team in all 4 major divisions of the league, including the Premier League, to actually press the panic button and replace their manager or sack their manager. Never a nice thing when a manager gets sacked. But anyway, these two have really done a good job. Bruno Lage, certainly, since taking over from Nuno Espirito Santo, who then went on to Tottenham and got sacked after 3 or 4 months. We were doing one of his last games last season when Tottenham crashed to a 3-0 defeat to Manchester United, where Cristiano Ronaldo, I remember here, was completely inspired. As Spurs now try and make something from the back, but it's Wolves now who have possession. And Johnny Otto gets possession. Otto playing on the right-hand side. And it goes again to Neves. On to Matinho. Good football again. Lovely ball in there again. And a shot coming in there from Guedes, who's one of the newer boys as well. Of course, Nunes we'll see a little bit later. Hopefully when we get Nunes on the ball, we'll see a bit of him later on. I count there's 7 Portuguese now in the Wolves squad. Of course, they're owned by Portuguese owners, of course. Same agent, and they have the agent who's Cristiano Ronaldo's agent on the books. So if Cristiano is looking for a new club, maybe Wolves could be his next destination. Anyway, let's see. As Guedes takes the corner, it's out towards the edge of the area. Shot comes in, and it's a good one, straight down the arms of the goalkeeper. And it was the captain, in fact, Ruben Neves, who struck it left-footed or right-footed, and it was straight down Lloris's throat. It was a nicely worked corner routine for Wolves, a very unconventional and very unorthodox corner routine. But having said all that, it was straight down the goalkeeper's throat. Sung Min-min's been fouled. Tottenham have taken the free kick, but they've gone backwards with it. And Eric Dyer now finds Davinson Sanchez. Emerson Royal is there too. But good first half here. 6 and a bit minutes gone. Don't forget that we are being sponsored for the season by the Melon streaming app, incidentally. If you want to check that out, you can go to www.melonstreamingapp.com for more information. And then later on, we'll have the Player of the Match award, and that's sponsored by Barry Swain's Commentary Services. And we're glad that his company is sponsoring the Man of the Match again for this season on the Commentary Hub. So the first real opportunity came from Wolves. It was a corner taken by Guedes. It was a very unconventional. It just reminded me of Manchester United. Beckham to scores a few years ago at Bradford, but he scored that magnificent goal, which actually won him the Goal of the Season award. If memory serves me right, it's been some 20-odd years ago now. More than a few years ago, that goal. But, yeah, I remember it very well. I think Beckham took the corner from the far side, and then Scholes just hit it, and it hit the bar. And I think he did something similar at Villa a few years after that. There's a Wolves player gone down, but we play on with Pedro Neto. I'm sure the referee, Mr. Hooper, took very good note of that, and may well, it's a throw into, it's Well, we're just looking at Mateus Nunes there, but I don't think anything was given there. No booking. Maybe it was an accidental collision. Maybe Simon Hooper saw it that way. Anyway, number 14 on the ball here now for Tottenham. That's Ivan Perisic. Perisic back to number 5 here. Pierre-Emile Oibier. Now Perisic trying to get Son in behind. Son inside the penalty area. Has been dragged wide left of that penalty area by 2 Wolves players, and then one of them, I think it was Nathan Collins, shoved him down, and it's a free kick to Tottenham Hotspur in a very very dangerous position for Wolves. Collins didn't like the fact that maybe Son made a deal of it, but Collins certainly pushed him for me. And, there's no doubt about it. That's a definite push, and I don't think Collins had any need really to snap back at the referee. I think the referee was right in that occasion. Former Burnley player, of course. Certainly flourished at Turf Moor in a disappointing season, really, for the Clarets last term when they were relegated. Played Blackpool later on in a championship game. So after I finished here at Tottenham, I've been turning on my transistor and listening to coverage of that one, hopefully. Son Heung-min is going to take this free kick then on the left-hand side, on the near side. Just 5 yards from the touchline, and it's a poor free kick. Not one of his better set pieces, Son Heung-min. A quality player, was the joint top scorer in Premier League last season. Got the golden boot. So he got 15 grand fined on an FA investigation yesterday. That's what's been confirmed by the Football Association at the moment. So it's going to be. He's got to watch himself in future. But it was always shot coming in there from nowhere from Ruben Neves, and it was a right-footed shot that just went past the left-hand post. And Wolves here, actually, I've got to say, are having a good go here. And they're causing Spurs, I have to say, 1 or 2 problems here. They haven't come here to make up any numbers. They do have quality in their ranks. Let's not forget that. Of course, the team have had a bit of a turnover since they got into the Premier League, of course. They had a good side then, reached the FA Cup semi-finals. Spurs dominated possession by 60% to 40%. But Wolves have had the opportunities. They've had 3 shots in all at goal. And I've had 1 of them on target. That was the effort from Ruben Neves. Spurs now on the attack. Laid the ball into the penalty area from the left-hand side, but it's knocked away once more. But Wolves had a good go here, and that's a foul. Surely just done halfway. That should be a bookable offence. I don't think it's a red card. He wasn't clean through on goal when Hoybier was the offender. And quite rightly, I think the yellow card has to be waived. You can't say that was a clear goal-scoring opportunity because he was still in his own half as Hoybier pushed him. So the referee, on the letter of the law and the spirit of the law, on both occasions was absolutely correct. Definite free kick and a yellow card for Oibe. So on both counts, the player got the right punishment because he was banged to rights, and it was certainly not a sending off offence. If he was about 30, 40 yards further forward and he was clean through, then you might make the case for a red card, but definitely not because he was in his own half as he was trying to break away there for Wolves. So referee, I think, on both accounts, the free kick was rightly given. Wolves last season scored 39 goals. Fewest of any clubs were played in both seasons. But so far, so good for Wolves. They've had a good start. Spurs just been a little bit tame, especially further up top, where you know Son and Harry Kane especially can be very, very potent. And of course, never count out Dejan Kovetsky as well. He's a very good player as well on his day. So he was signed in January, incidentally, earlier this calendar year. So they've got a really good front three. Then you add into the mix with Charlton, who could come off the bench at any time. Another good signing, and Everton have been struggling since his departure. But it was a case that Richarlison did want to go. Anyway, here's Ben Davies marauding down the left-hand side. Gets the cross in towards the area. Did get a deflection, and Tottenham didn't really make a good job of it. And now then, are they going to put the ball out of play here, Spurs, I wonder? There's a Wolves player down injured. We're in the 13th minute, I think. I don't know who it is that got... it Oh, I tell you what, I think he was barged there by Davis off the ball. I think he knocked him clean out there. I'm sure the referee will want words with the Welshman. It was Pedro Neto that was fouled. He's having to go off the field, obviously, for treatment. Ivan Perisic is... are they going to have... No, he's not going off the pitch for treatment. I think he's going to play on. Are they going to have a drop ball? Well, why can't you just contest a drop ball? Why give it to one team and not the other? Why do these rule makers always have to take the fun out of it? It's a drop ball, contest the drop ball. Here's Emerson Royale now. Running into the penalty area. Oh, good ball. Kravinsky's in there. Can he knock you back to Son Heung-min? Now, they'd been uproar if that had been a goal because there's no way you could give an advantage there to Tottenham Hotspur. If you're going to have a drop ball, ladies and gents, let's do it properly. Let's do it right. Let the two players that are going in for the drop ball contest it and win it. I don't like the favouritism towards one team or the other. Let's just have it like it used to be in the olden days. Contest the drop ball. Doesn't matter what part of the field it's on. Let's have a contest. Let's have a proper contest for a drop ball. The fun seems to be going out the game, and I blame the rule makers. I blame the AFAB and FIFA for that. It's their rules, and I blame David Ellery for that. Same with the offside rulings. If you get them back to the old ways were always the best ways. Just saying. Anyway, Son Heung-min now. I'll get off my soapbox and try and describe this next Tottenham attack, which inevitably breaks down and comes away once more. Still 0-0. Here's Son Heung-min. Ball played forward. We've had about a quarter of an hour played in the first half. Wolves come away with the ball. There was no foul there. Ball played out to the far side. Now then, number 17. Number 17 has it on the far side. That's Guedes. And he loses possession. Referee letting everything go at the moment. And Kravinsky now goes forward. Kalinski now towards the right-hand byline. Aït-Nouri now, the defender. Emerson Royale gives him support. Still inside the Wolves half. Ball chipped towards the left-hand side where Perisic was waiting, but so too was Pedro Neto for Wolverhampton Wanderers. Johnny Castro Otto in possession. Infield again to Ruben Neves. Ball comes out again. Now João Moutinho. And now a chance again to see what this Matheus Nunes is like. Well, in fact, he's gone further forward, incidentally. It was the other guy, Guedes, who was furthest forward. Now then, Son Heung-min now to Harry Kane, who's just drifted to the left here. Kane takes on his man. Beats Nathan Collins easily, but the referee is given a free kick. Nathan Collins has just got to watch the sarcasm. Otherwise, he might just do himself into a yellow card here. This is what happened. Kane went to take him on. And, well, I don't think there was much in it. But that's twice now Nathan Collins has been penalised. And he's just got to watch it now because if he does 2 or 3 more fouls like that, the referee could be liable to start booking the player for it. Perisic round the corner. That's a lovely football into the path of Højbjerg. And now Son Heung-min back to Højbjerg. Can he create an angle for a cross? Maybe Ben Davis might do it. Well, it's Højbjerg again. They're going backwards a little bit here, Spurs. Wolves have brought 9 or 10 men back behind the ball, which is making it hard for Spurs. Kravinsky now. Got Kane and Son in the middle. There's Emerson Royal cross. This is from the right-hand side. It was charged away by Aït-Nouri. Here's Kravinsky again. Away from Aït-Nouri. There are 4 in the middle in white. So was one of them. Perisic was just on the edge as it almost came to him there. But Wolves had the way with all to get it away. Hugo Lloris now has certainly been a spectator for the last sort of 10 minutes or so. Takes possession now again. Harry Kane now offering support on the left. Switches the play to Emerson Royale on the far side if he can reach it, and he will. Emerson Royale now takes on Aït-Nouri. Gets to the byline, hits Aït-Nouri, and it will be a corner for Tottenham. And now they're starting to turn up the power after a quiet opening 10 minutes, Tottenham. The last 7 minutes has certainly been theirs. Now then, can they make something happen from this corner kick? Eric Dyer, you wouldn't be so surprised he's come up from the back. Antonio Conte saying, come on, get in that box. There's 2, 4, 5, 6 Tottenham players in the area for this corner. Son, I think he's going to take it from the far side. 6 players in the penalty area in white, and it was almost towards Harry Kane. It's headed away by Wolves, who had a way with all to get a few defenders back there, but all the Wolves players are back inside their own half at the moment, as far as I can see. And it's at the moment Tottenham having very good possession of the ball, just can't finish at the moment. As we rapidly approach the 19th minute here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium on the TCL on every platform that we've got on at the moment. We're also on these participating platforms, JB Sports, Storm FM and TCM2, as well as the TCM itself. And we're also live on the TCM Twitch channel, which you can find at twitch.tv/the commentary hub, if you want to listen to us there. Let's just see if we've had any comments come in. No, if you do want to leave a comment during the match, we'll give you a shout out. Please keep your comments clean, incidentally. We are a family show, and we want to read the clean comments out. We are very much a family show for people of every age and every race and every creed to enjoy. It's football, and certainly the TCM is for everybody. Everybody that's a genuine football supporter. Anyway, here comes Johnny Otto on the ball, gets it forward again. Wolves trying to make a few inroads again. Otto now. And Neto in acres of space and put his hands up in complete frustration. Ball chipped in there again from the far side by Nuri. And at the moment, Spurs now just a little bit on defensive duties here as Neto now tries to work something angle maybe from the right for a shot, potentially. There is a shot coming in this time, and it's wide from the target. 20 minutes gone. It was Ruben Neves who had the shot. Right-footed. Another good effort from outside the penalty area. Wasn't going to be drifting in anytime soon. It needed to go a heck of a long way to trouble even Lloris as well as the goal at that stage. And we've had a message from Claire Steele. Good evening to you. Good afternoon to you, Claire. Nice to have you with us. She says, Davis and Dyer suburb. Well, that's a bit strong. It's a very strong criticism there. They haven't really done much wrong, Claire, if I'm being honest with you. But I'd give them at least till half time, see if they pick up a little bit. I think Davis has made 1 or 2 nice little runs. But you're entitled to your opinion, and you can have yours on the chat on any of our streams. But and we will read some of them out as long as you keep them clean. We will read them out. Meanwhile, a free kick has been given. Foul on Emerson Royale by Nuri, and a free kick now as we go up towards the halfway mark of the first half. As Tottenham now start to press forward with Emil Højbjerg chips the ball forward, and the ball might just drop out before Perisic can keep it in. Indeed, it does. And the assistant there, Adrian Holmes, signalling that it is a goal kick. I think it was an offside decision. Now, this is another thing that baffles me about the modern game. If you're offside in the first instance, put the flag up. Don't waste 10 seconds of extra playing time to put the flag up, because it's just a nonsense. It's an absolute nonsense. You know, it confuses people, it confuses supporters, it confuses commentators, it confuses managers alike. Just simplify it. I thought it was a goal kick, but then it was a free kick for offside. I just can't work it. I can't work any of this out. The sooner the rule makers, whoever they call themselves, it's a FIFA directive. It's really bad. Wolves' next game, incidentally, it's not the FA Cup, incidentally, like the television have got it at. It's actually the Carabao Cup competition. They play Preston North End on Tuesday. Even the Premier League teams that don't play in Europe come into the Carabao at this stage of the competition. And hopefully on the TCL we'll be bringing you some live Carabao Cup action during the midweek as well, so for you to enjoy as well. And I'm sure Russ will know more about it than I will, but he'll tell you all about that if he can at half time. He'll also tell you we'll also try and give you a latest score from Aberdeen against Rangers in the early SPL match, Scottish Premier League, as Emerson Royale is down clutching what appears to be his ankle. And the Tottenham physio is on now. Let's hope it gives the players the opportunity to just take some extra fluid on board at this stage of proceedings. Not been a bad watch. Just needs a couple of big opportunities. A goal really would like the blue touch paper in this important contest. It is an important moment in the game, really, that if one of these teams can take the opportunity and score from it, then in every possible sense of the word, then we could be in for a really good. It could be in for a really good match here today. It's a bit cooler than it was the other week when we had all that hot weather. We had to take drinks on board and everything else. It was a very hot weekend last weekend. So it's going to be a drop ball again. Why can't they just contest this drop ball? I know the referees have got to follow the directives from the rule makers and from FIFA and the like, but for God's sake, let's have a contested drop ball. I don't want to bang on my soapbox all 90 minutes and say these things, but I need to say them. Let's have a contested drop ball. Let's get back to the olden days when football was there to be contested. When a drop ball was there to be contested. There's I'm just looking at Richarlison there. He's amongst the substitutes. We've had a couple of comments in on the chat. And it's from Claire. I'll read that in a second because Wolves are coming forward. We're in the 25th minute there. Don't worry, Claire. We'll read your text. We'll read your message out in a second or two. As long as it's clean, we'll read it. I have it right beside me as Johnny Otto has possession. If you want to comment like Claire's doing, please, on any of the platform you're listening to us from, we'll just break off for a second. I'll remind you how you can do it later on. Here's Johnny Otto, because looks like Wolves are building up a really good little attack here. Nejo has had to come out from the right-hand side and has to go back in field. Ball play towards Aït-Nouri now. He'll take on his men. He'll take on Emerson Royal. Can he get across in Aït-Nouri? Oh, he went down there in Stormers. Referee wasn't he budged on it. Emerson Royal appears to be all right, by the way, incidentally, listeners, and he's fine. Here he comes again. Emerson Royal. He's run about 40 yards with the ball. He's had to cut back inside because there was no real support, unfortunately. 14 Tottenham final third entries, 9 in total for Wolves. Touches in opposition box, 1 for Wolves, 4 for Tottenham. It's been a decent watch, but a very tame sort of game in terms of real goal-mouth excitement and opportunity. We might get something there as Perisic got in, but Jose Sarr read the situation perfectly clear. Right, the message coming in from Claire. We'll just get. I can't read that. Kane, can't get the ball quick enough. Is it? Do you think it's a stub or UBA? I don't know. I don't really understand that text. I'll be honest with you, Claire. Unless you've got spell checker doing something, I don't understand it. But myself. But anyway, we've had 27 minutes of the first half, and it's Tottenham 0, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0. If you've just joined us on the TC Hub and all the other platforms, including JB Sports and Storm FM and the TC Hub 2. They're all separate YouTube channels, but are part of the Commentary Hub network. I'm also live on the Twitch channel at www.twitch.tv/the Commentary Hub. If you want to listen to us there on Twitch. We used to be on Periscope. We used to be on Twitter. We're not anymore streaming live on Twitter or Periscope anymore, just to remind you folks. And we're not on Jade's at Football anymore. Anyway, Aït-Nouri for Tottenham, for Wolves rather, back to Ruben Neves. Now, Nathan Collins, the ex-Burnley man, coming forward once again. Of course, also played for Stoke City, of course, in the Championship. Johnny Otto to Ruben Neves. Moves it out. Here's number 27 now. Nunes, the new signing from Sporting Club Portugal, has been a bit quiet so far. Spreads the play up nicely here. Now then, are we going to see a cross here from Nuri? He tries to play a 1-2 inside the area. Was there a foul inside the area? I think there was. Was there? No, there wasn't. It was play on, says Simon Hooper. I think he's trying to let the game flow a bit here, the referee. Good on him for doing that, actually. Here comes Spurs again, or Wolves again, rather. Ain't Nuri again. Oh, he was tricked. Clearly pushed there, and it's a free kick. In fact, it was Ruben Neves who was pushed. Well, Guedes was pushed, sorry, by Kovetsky. And a definite shove in the back. It must be said. And Tottenham at the moment really going for it at the moment. You've got to say. Wolves are really going for it. We're seeing Ronaldo there, the Brazilian Ronaldo in the crowd. Good to see him in England. So there's 5 in the area for this free kick. Looks like it's been blown. Well, it's blown in, I think, by Pedro Neto, and it was an easy take for Hugo Lloris as that free kick came in for the left-hand side. It was a poor free kick, really. That's it. Now we've got another comment flowing in from Claire Steele. We'll come back to Claire's comment in a second. There's another comment coming, and you guys can comment on whatever platform you're listening on this afternoon during the game. And we'll always give you a shout out. As I say, keep your comments clean. Claire goes on to say, last season's squad played a more fluid game. Is Ruben Neves... Well, I'll just say that last season's squad played a more fluid game. I'm not going to say anything else there because I can't understand what was being said there. Meanwhile, latest score in the Scottish Premier, Hibernian 0, Rangers 0. If any goals go in up in Scotland, we'll bring you that live on the TCO. We'll bring you updates live on the commentary room for you. So just to remind you that Rangers and Hibernian up at Easter Road are drawing 0-0. Of course, Rangers had that midweek game against in the Champions League as they attempt to qualify for that particular competition alongside Celtic. Rangers reached the Europa final last season before being beaten. And luckily, in extra time last year, on penalties last year. Meanwhile, we've got a free kick to Wolves. Certainly having the better of the chances, Wolves, is certainly in this opening half an hour, but it's been a bit feisty, a bit cagey, a bit bitty maybe in some parts, but the game can only improve from here on in. As the song always said, the only way is up. And the goal was certainly send it on the old up and up. 4 fouls apiece, 8 in all. 8 fouls in all, 4 apiece. Wolverhampton free kick. 15 yards from the centre circle, inside the Wolves Tottenham half. About 10 yards from the centre circle area. The ball played in towards the area, flicked on and wide. A little flick there. Couldn't quite make out who it was in the end, but it was a Wolves header got it. It was the debutant actually, Matheus Nunes, who got the touch. And just goes, not too far wide of the right-hand upright, but wasn't going to trouble the Tottenham captain and goalkeeper Hugo Lloris, who's all in green today. And if you are commenting, please keep your comments clean and make sure the text is good enough to read, because I'm struggling to read one or two of the texts that are coming in. No disrespect to Claire, who's happily texted away to us today, but just need to just read out a bit more of these texts, and we'll get going again. And at the moment, in this opening half an hour, we've had 33 minutes almost, 32 and a half minutes here on the TCO and all the platforms. Don't forget to like our Twitter handle, incidentally. We haven't talked about that today, have we? Twitter.com/Twitter. We're on Twitter at the Commentary Hub. It's not the Commentary Hub. Our Commentary Hub handle is at Commentary Live 1. At Commentary Live 1, I'm told. Yeah, I'm getting. It's been a couple of weeks since I've done a commentary, so forgive me for that. So just to remind, so Claire said, So Mike's on. Afternoon, JB. Put you on while I'm getting ready to go and watch Stevenage against Carlisle in League Two. Yeah, big up to Stevenage as they got to try and beat Carlisle, who made a long trip as the effort goes wide from Wolves in the end. I think it was Podence who may have had the last shot. A bit of a scramble inside the penalty area. Let's see who did have the final set. It was Daniel Podence. I was right the first time. Bit of a mistake from Emerson Royal in front of all that as well. Yeah, big up to Stevenage. And a big up to the Carlisle fans who are making a very long journey down to the Lamex Stadium this afternoon for an intriguing game down there in League Two. So nice to give the lower basement division a bit of a shout out as well. Stevenage, a very good side. Broadhall Way, to give it the old. I know it's called the Lamex now, but it's the Broadhall Way used to be the old name for the ground. Or sponsorship got in the way of everything. What happened to the good old days of proper football? Anyway, Wolves on the attack. The old gold, who haven't won a major trophy since 1980 when they won the what they call the Carabao Cup now. It was called the League Cup then in those days. Came close to getting to an FA Cup final 3 or 4 years back before losing a 2-goal lead against Watford. There's a few disgruntled Tottenham fans I can see around me here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. I don't think they've enjoyed what they've seen today. I have to say, Spurs, I expected a bit more from both attacks today, especially Tottenham's. You look at Son Heung-min and Harry Kane, who have got goals in them. In fact, Son hasn't scored yet. In fact, there's 5 goal scorers for Tottenham. Kane's got 1, Dyer's got 1, Kravitsky's got 1, Session's got 1, and Højbjerg's got 1. As for Wolves, Daniel Podence with the only goal for them this season that came at Leeds on opening day. Possession, not too much, 52-48 in favour of Tottenham, but still that one shot on goal that came from Ruben Neves when it wasn't troubling. Hugo Lloris made a comfortable save. Here's Son Heung-min now on the left. I have to say, Wolves have possibly won the tactical battle because they've really memorised Tottenham to not many efforts at goal. But they might get a chance here as Perisic wins the corner on the left-hand side. We're inside the final 10 minutes plus injury time at the end of the first half. And I just wonder if Son Heung-min can float a decent corner in here and get Tottenham on their way. It's the second corner. Wolves have had one in this first half. So let's see what will come of this now, as this corner will be floated in from the near side, from the left-hand side. Son Heung-min, the South Korean. Can he find a way through here for Spurs? Little flick on towards the back post, and Emerson Royal was there. And I think there may have been a foul by Harry Kane in the build-up, possibly on Nathan Collins. Let's have a look. Well, Kane got the flick. I don't think there was any foul in there. If there was, it was a pretty marginal decision. I'm not sure that was a foul there on Collins. It was Dyer's flick on. I'm not sure there was a foul there, but anyway, free kick was given nevertheless. And Spurs should have been ahead there. A nicely worked corner. First real good quality delivery that Son Heung-min has played in the match. As we hit the 37th minute mark here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Still Tottenham 0, Wolves 0, if you just joined us on the TCM. Not been too much in the way of clear goal-scoring opportunities. We haven't had a real threat. There's been 1 or 2 easy saves for, certainly in particular, Hugo Lloris, but it's been a powder-puff Tottenham performance, if I'm being honest. Certainly in the final third when they've tried to attack. It's not been a classic first half. It's not been a bad watch. But it hasn't, by the same token, been an absolute classic yet. But we always get the old adage that it's always a game of 2 halves football. You always get a bit of a dull as a dishwater first half, and then you get a thrill of a second half. It always happens that way. Sometimes, a lot of the time, in most cases, in the game of football. And we hope that the latter will help, but that we did get a better second half. I mean, we've still got about 8 minutes to run in this first half, and we still might get a goal yet. And there might be one here for Wolves. Oh, dear. Good. Guedes trying to get the ball out of his feet. Miscued his shot, and it went straight in the arms of Hugo Lloris. He tried to take it on the edge of the area, and then just sort of miscued his shot. And in the end, it came to nothing, really, from a Tottenham viewpoint. And here they come again with Ben Davies on the left-hand side. Let's hope the game can become a little bit stretched. Perisic, just been very disappointed. Oh, there's a foul there. Referee spotted a foul there by Perisic. And in fact, an offside's been awarded. Well, if he's offside at this instant, that's when the linesman should be putting his flag up. Not 10 seconds along the line. This is where the rule makers have to get down, bang their heads together and say, this particular law isn't working. It's frustrated everybody in the game. Meanwhile, Wolves are trying to make a complete dog's dinner, or they were trying to make a complete dog's dinner, played out from the back. They did so in the end. And in the end, they've only given it straight to Ben Davies. He's coming back at him now with Harry Kane. That's surely a foul. No, the referee said no. I need to have a look at that again. It did look a foul to me from first glance. Nuri now comes forward. He's got Guedes on the far side here. Coming up towards the final 6 minutes for injury time at the first half. Just maybe the game's starting to open up a bit as a contest, perhaps. Here's Pedro Neto. He'll run at his man. He's got a chance here to get across it. He's got space to get across it. It's not a good one, I'm afraid. And it is a Wolves throw-in line with the 6-yard area of Tottenham. Still 0-0 here on the TCM and all the other platforms. Johnny Otto with the throw-in. To Nathan Collins. Back to Johnny Otto again. Collins tries to play the 1-2. Gets it back. Collins inside the area. It's a good marauding run by him. And in the end, Wolves gets a throw-in at least for it. But Nathan Collins there, the centre-back, making a good long busting run. Played a couple of lovely 1-2s there. And buying Spurs a bit more territory further forward here. Johnny Otto trying to run outside. They got a throw-in for that, which is now been taken. And it's now with Patino. Chips it in there. Could be a problem. Davinson Sanchez got a good header on that. Otherwise, Spurs might have been in a bit of bother. 8-0 for Wolves. Counted the Spurs half, but now Harry Kane's won it now. Spurs need to get men forward because he's the furthest man forward and he's having to take it forward, and there's no foul on Harry Kane. Kane looks inquiringly with eyes like daggers towards the officials. And it's Pedro Neto now for Wolves. It's starting to just ebb and flow a little bit now. Maybe the game's just picking up in the final 5 minutes. Nuri now on the left-hand side for Wolves. Uses Guedes. Now can he take on Emerson Royal? Uses Nuri. Can he get the angle for the cross, Nuri? He's trying to take on all comers here in a Tottenham shirt. Maybe it's probably that isn't the best way to go at the moment. As the ball is spreaded out to Neto. Right-hand side now, the near side as I look. They're still trying to work the perfect angle for the cross here. Just hoisted into the box. They do so, but it's not a very good cross. Collins picks up the loose ball. Deep inside, still Tottenham territory. Now, Guedes will run at his man. Nuri's in support. Oh, he's played a lovely back heel there to Neves. Now Nuri. The angle was there again for the cross, but it breaks to Matinho. Now Neves. Neves chips it in. Looking for the header, and it goes wide from the debutant Nunes. Oh, that was the biggest chance of the first half by none. And Neves played a magnificent ball into the penalty area. Matinho laid it to Neves. He played it in, and Nunes was definitely onside. Got above Ben Davies there. Another inch or two, the right side of the left post. And Wolves, in my opinion, would have had a deserved lead. Oh my days. That may have just shaved the post even. Big chance wasted there. Massive chance wasted there. Matthias, and of course, Cyprus Sporting Lisbon is a midfielder by trade. $51 million we're told he cost us. That's something in the region of about 48 million quid. And I'm doing it without exchange rates. Free kick to Wolves, incidentally. Whilst we're setting up the free kick, there's been some more chats coming in. Mike says it's nice to follow that. So close. There's been an update. There's another game going on actually from the from League Two. An early kickoff there. 1 o'clock they kicked off. Banks with a goal for Bradford City. Now under the managership of Mark Hughes, incidentally, these days. Banks with a goal on 4 minutes, incidentally. As Wolves now coming the closest to scoring so far in this first half. But it's still 0-0 if you've just joined us on all the TCL platforms. Emerson Royal wins possession. Finds out there is an opportunity for Bentancur. We haven't really mentioned his name in the first half. Here he is now on the ball. 9 shots on all for Wolves, and they've had 2 on target. So Wolves have had the chances. Tottenham have been pathetic, really, in front of goal. It has to be said. That's a foul on Olivier, surely. And Olivier does roll around a little bit, as if he's been shot by Lee Harvey Oswald. And that's a definite foul, though. I mean, said no on that by Ruben Neves, who played that lovely ball in there for Mateus Nunes. Well, would have been the other side on Wednesday. What a way that would have been for him to introduce himself to the Wolves faithful by scoring the opening goal of the game. Davis plays the ball inside. Now then, chance here for Perisic. Last minute, a normal time at the end of the first half. Ball comes into the penalty area. Kane jumping! And a good save from Jose Sarr to turn it behind for a corner. That looked to be dipping inside under the crossbar. And Jose Sarr got a big right hand on it and turned it over the bar for a corner. Good header face from Harry Kane. That's what we want to see more of. They haven't seen enough of this in the first half, Spurs, and I think that was dipping. May have been even hitting the crossbar. There's an angle inside the goal I'm just looking at now. That was dipping. Jose Sarr had to keep his eyes on the ball. Would have been against the run of the play, perhaps, as the ball comes in the air. Again, Sarr was fouled, I think. No, he wasn't. He got a touch on it, though. Bentancur to Son. They've all stayed on side here. The ball comes into the area, and Davinson Sanchez almost got a free header in there. Just couldn't grow it up, and in the end, Jose Sarr gets possession. We've now played exactly the 45 minutes. We're not sure how long there's going to be added on. We'll give you that in a second. And here Wolves are on the break now, on the counter-attack with Neto. Can they work something here now? This is Neto, 2 added minutes. Wolves now have got 24. Shot comes in, and in the end, Gaidis was taken out, but not unfairly, says the referee, whose opinion really counts. Wow. We've had a bit of action in the final few moments. So 2 added minutes we're into. We've played half a minute of the 2. Still another 120 seconds to go. Maybe less than that now. There's Dyer knocking it forward. Good football again now. Can Krasinski get something going? He's got Emerson Royal in support. Uses Oibier this time. Good football there. Krasinski again. Oibier. Spurs starting to come into it a bit. Perisic, you can hit him from this from outside the penalty area. We've seen him do that on many occasions for Croatia in European Championships and World Cups and the like over the years. Emerson Royal still tries to create an angle for the cross. Can't find Harry Kane. Comes out to the edge of the area once more where Spurs try to dominate. 30 seconds to go, plus any added time that Simon Hooper wants to add on. Spurs have conceded a free kick to Wolves' frustration because they felt they had a good attack going there. But it's a definite foul, but you'd expect the referee in these circumstances to be letting the game breathe a little bit and then punish the offender afterwards. That's not very good refereeing, I have to say, from Simon Hooper. The advantage should have been played, in my opinion, there. I felt Wolves had something really going there. Ball on ball. Oh, they might get in there, Wolves! They might get in there, Wolves! They go around the keeper! And in the end, the angle just died on him a bit, and then the shot came in from Nunes. Deflected wide. It will be a Spurs Wolves corner, rather. Well, Guedes got him behind. Davinson Sanchez was so static, it's unbelievable. In fact, it came off Sanchez. He got back on the line. Guedes was forced wide by Hugo Ruiz. That was good goalkeeping, and then Guedes' shot got a deflection. And Wolves have had all the chances. Coutinho now, they'll feel a little aggrieved, in my opinion, not to be ahead in this game. Coutinho will take the corner from the near side, the right-hand side. It's not a bad delivery. Up go the heads, header one, and over the top. That should be that for the first half, and it is that for the first half. Wow. Wolves certainly have had the better chances. Spurs have obviously lost the possession, as you would expect at this stage. But at the moment, it's a complete stalemate. Some of the classic in terms of the first half chances. But Kane has come closest for Spurs. and there's been one or two real opportunities there. And Nunes, the debutant, has had a couple of glorious opportunities to score too. So it's been a decent first half. It's been a good watch, but we've had a bit more excitement towards the end of the first half rather than any other part during that. But still a long way to go in this game. But as we hand back to Russ Burning in the studio, it's goalless at half time in this Premier League game. But at the moment, Spurs would go up to third, Wolves will stay in 14th place. But half time here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, the game going to surely lighten up in the second half, surely. It's Tottenham 0, Wolves 0. Back to you, Russ.
Thank you very much there to JB for brilliant first half commentary. Very good afternoon to Mike and to Claire who are tuned in this evening. At half time in the Scottish Premiership, it's Hibernian 0, Rangers 1, a late goal and a penalty there for James Tavernier on the stroke of half time for Rangers into the lead. You will have heard JB tell you that Bradford City were 1 up at Hartlepool thanks to a Scott Banks goal early on. I can tell you on 17 minutes, Ferguson for Hartlepool, David Ferguson, has levelled from a Jake Hasty cross. So it's Hartlepool 1, Bradford City 1. Until that kicked off at 1 o'clock this afternoon. We'll bring you how that is going. There is an FA Cup tie in one of the earlier rounds of the FA Cup matches taking place today. There is some under 18s action in the Premier League as well. I'll just see how the FA Cup game is getting on for you in a second or so as we matches. This is a extra preliminary round, one of the preliminary rounds which is being featured today. Should be a good match. I know that's being played today. I'm not calling about who was involved in the early kick-off in that one. We'll find that out for you and let you know who is involved in that one. It's Marlow against Tame United in the early round. Kicked off at 12:30 at the Alfred Davis Memorial Ground. So kicked off same time as the game between Tottenham and Wolves. And at half time, as the players are just leaving the field in that one, it is Marlow 2, Tame 0. Wojalski on 22 and Bell on 38 with the goals for Marlow against Tame United as they have just got to half time in their match in the FA Cup this coming around this afternoon. Just to tell you a bit about the two sides in the FA Cup, Marlow compete in the Ishman League South Central Division, boasted by the most entries in the competition's history, first taking part in the FA Cup back in 1871. And since they've contributed to the cost of the original trophy, the highest place finish being the semi-finals in 1882, more recently making it through to the third round proper in 1993 where they lost to Tottenham Hotspur. Tottenham made their way to the semi-finals where they lost to Arsenal, the team who went on to lift the trophy that season. Team United of the Southern League Division 1 Central are one of Oxfordshire's oldest clubs, and Mark West has been at the helm for over 15 years, making him one of the longest serving managers in non-league football, should I say. He's been responsible for the best runs in the FA Cup history, and this reached the fourth qualifying round. Team United, they are trailing 2-0 this afternoon. We'll tell you how that finishes a little bit later on and let you know who progressed in that one. I did mention at the start of the programme that Leicester City avoid going into the game against Tottenham. not Tottenham, going into the game against Southampton, should I say, by confirmation that striker Jamie Vardy has agreed a new contract with the Foxes. He's signed a new contract until 2024. So that's a good bit of news to tell you there. So I'm just going to take a quick break and I will return and I will give you some more news and more views ahead of the second half of Tottenham against Wolves. Don't go away, you're listening to the commentary up. Welcome back to the of Tottenham against Wolves in the Premier League. And I just want to ask you, the listeners, a question. So the Premier League was 30 years old last Monday. Been going for 30 years. What I want to know is what has been your best moment watching the Premier League in those 30 years? And JB, if you're listening during the second half, whenever you want to say, let the listeners know your best moment of the Premier League in those 30 years, and let them know as well in the few years your best game you've commentated on from the Premier League in that moment as well. So two things there for you, JB, to do. I'll mention that again to JB just in case you missed that just then. For me, if you didn't hear me mention it on Monday during the commentary between Liverpool and Crystal Palace, the best moment for myself, and it was also shared by, same one was shared by Kieran Hill, who was on me on Monday. We both say the Aguero moment when Manchester City won the title on the final day of the Premier League season from Manchester United. And I'm just looking at some of the chances that Wolves had a team effort there. The Wolves have been the more dominant, creating the more chances of both of the sides, but at the moment, Tottenham have yet to really get to give. They've had a few chances as well, Tottenham, but for me, and I think JB said it as well during commentary, Wolves have been the best side. Wolves should be leading this game, in my opinion. We'll be bringing you the coverage of the second half shortly with our match commentator, JB. I will keep you across the matches that's taking place right now, just to see if there's any more updates in the game in League 2. It's still 1-1 between Hartlepool and Bradford, 30 minutes played there. In the Women's Championship, which has started this week. Wolverhampton 0, Charlton 1. Simpkins with the goal from the penalty on 22 minutes. That's taking place at St Mary's. The women's football returns this weekend. The women's championship is taking place today. I'm not sure. Samoa Women's Championship tomorrow. I'm not sure. Can't remember what date exactly. I will search this up for you right now. In fact, and I've to let you know when the Women's Super League returns. So the Women's Super League season begins on the 10th of September when Tottenham take on Manchester United in the lunchtime kick-off at 12:30. And that game is being played at the Ive Stadium in London. We'll hopefully feature some of the matches from the WSL this season, this upcoming season, to tell you all about and bring you some live football, which should be a good thing to watch. So we'll keep across everything that is happening in the Premier League later. I'll probably come back on 5 o'clock and go through the classified football results for you and bring you all the day's results from the Premier League, the Football League, National League North, National League South, and the Scottish Football Leagues as well. So we will be getting ready any second now to go back to the man who's bringing you the brilliant commentary this afternoon. That is, of course, our very own JB. He'll be fetching you the commentary for the second half shortly in what's going to be a very good match and a very good second half, hopefully. Hopefully we see goals in that second half, and I'm hoping JB put the jinx on it there. But with the teams almost ready for the second period to come back out at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, will be handing back across to JB in a second or so for the second half. We'll bring some brilliant football coming up on the channel. Hopefully we'll play a game tomorrow with Paul James. We'll keep you across that one and let you know if that's going to be live or we'll be putting it out on a later one. We're just seeing some getting ready for the second period between Tottenham and Wolves. The players are just making their way back out. So all those with Simon Hooper having a laugh there with Antonio Conte. So with those back out, and JB, in case you missed missed it earlier. I'm just going to ask, with the Premier League being 30 years old, this was 30 years old last weekend. What I
Uh-huh.
want you to do during the second half, maybe, is tell the listeners your favourite moment from the Premier League in the entire, plus also tell our listeners your best Premier League match you have commentated on. With that in mind, and the players back out for the second half, it's time for me to come back over to JB. John, JB Stuttard is over to you, JB, for the second half.
Thank you. That's quite a task, that, Russ. Welcome back, everybody, to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium for the alternate second half commentary. I'll try and find an answer during the second half. Can't promise you anything, but I'll try and, if the games are good, and I probably won't have time, but we'll see. Well, certainly the top dogs in the first half, you have to say, in terms of goal scoring opportunities. Spurs, of course, have bossed it with a possession. I'll remind you the two teams in just a second, because Spurs are already on the attack here down the right hand side, and already good defending there by Wolves. But here's OBA, Son Heung-min inside the penalty area. Might be a chance here, and the deflection will take it behind for the first quarter of the second half. I will give you the two teams in just a second. Don't forget, I've also got a man of the match to choose, and above all that. But I will try and find a couple of answers. There's so many games I've commentated on in the Premier League. It's going to be hard to choose a particular one. Let's just hope that this one could be up there if it becomes a bit of a classic in the second half. We'll see. Anyway, Perisic to take the first quarter of the second half for Spurs. We've had a minute gone in the second half, and we'll remind you of the two teams as soon as we get a break in play. As Perisic brings the corner in, it's not really a good corner, if I'm being perfectly frank. And the ball comes back to Emerson Royal on the halfway line. And Wolves certainly had the best chances. Tottenham had that one chance towards the end of the first half through Harry Kane. Just to remind you that Wolves are not Wolves, but Rangers are winning. A penalty from James, a penalty.
We just appear to have lost JB for a second there, so we're getting back in a second. As Ivan Perisic just picks up on the left-hand side, knocks the ball back into, or get the ball into the penalty area. Comes back off Oibia to Perisic. We'll bring JB back in a second as Perisic puts the ball in towards the back post. Nuried's behind. It's a corner kick to Tottenham, and he's back over JB.
Yeah, apologies for that. I pressed the wrong button on the thing there. I was going to keep you up to date. James Tavernier with a penalty. After 43 minutes. Just to remind you that Rangers are winning at the moment. That's half time, but we'll keep you up to date with that scoreline in the second half. With Ross, who just took over for about a split second, but I'm back with you now live, and Perisic will take the second corner in about 3 minutes. And let's see what Wolves can, Robert Tottenham can do here from this set play. Oh, it's a dangerous one. It might fall for David and Sanchez inside the penalty area, but it just was hooked away at the very last second. And Spurs, at the start of the second half, looked like Antonio Conte has given them a bit of a rocket up their backsides, because I have to tell you that they've come out and they've started slowly away to absolutely get their acts together here, because at the moment, Wolves have been rather the timid side, and you just wonder if those chances at the end of the first half to Mateus Nunes, will they come back to haunt those missed chances for him? Will they come back to haunt Wolves? We'll just have to wait and see the second half, but it looks a little lively second half from a Tottenham point of view. Nathan Collins cuts the ball out, and now Neves on the ball. That's a good ball if I can get Wolves in behind the defence, but it's back to Hugo Lloris, who kicks away left-footed out towards the far side. Still 0-0 if you just joined us. Tottenham attacking lanes. Left 49%, centre 17%, right-hand side 34%. So they've tended to use the left-hand side a little bit during this match so far. Some statistics that are just popping up on my monitor at the moment from our stats people from the Premier League. Played 49 minutes, played 4 minutes in the second half. Just to remind you, we're on TC Hub, YouTube channels. These are the YouTube channels that are bringing the feed the game. will break off for a second. Here's Emerson Royale into the penalty area. Can he dig out the cross? It comes out to Harry Kane, who crosses in there. Flick on by Son. And over the top it is for a goal kick, but better from Tottenham. So this game being brought to you on YouTube and Twitch this afternoon. On the YouTube channels, there's 4 of them that are bringing you live coverage on the TC Hub family. And they are as follows: the TC Hub itself, the main TC Hub channel. And we're also on my channel, JB Sports. We're also on Mike Arneman's Storm FM channel. And we're also on Commentary Hub number 2. And we're also live on our Twitch channel as well. We also have a Twitter handle at Commentary Live 1 as well. So still 0-0. Wolves come forward again towards the penalty area. Well stopped once more. And at the moment, Wolves coming forward at every opportunity at the moment. Still no score. And Wolves at the moment leading Sage, but it's Spurs at the other end. Ball played in there. Kane off the bar. And it might come to Son. And the rebound goes into the goalkeeper's hands. And, well, another good opportunity there wasted. Another, apologies there for the sound in the background. But another good opportunity. Gone wasted there for Tottenham as they hit the crossbar. And Wolves coming forward now with Martinho at the other end. Still no goals. But it's been a cracking watch so far. Neves gets it out to the far side. Now Otto. Good football this from Wolves. They've certainly been the better side, but Spurs in this opening 6 minutes of the second period have looked better. Nathan Collins is on the ball now. Has to thread the ball back towards the edge of the box where Sarr will give it a big long boot, right-footed, 3/4 of the way up down the field. In fact, less than that, just over halfway as it turned out. Neves picks the ball up, the Wolves captain. Picks out Ait-Nouri. Now then, can Wolves come charging forward again. Good football this. As the ball is spread forward, Ait-Nouri. Good tackle there by number 6, Davison Sanchez. Can Wolves maybe nick one here and get their noses in front? They've been very good value for at least being in front, if not level, in this game. As Neves gets, or rather, Martinho gets the ball forward. Martinho back again. Neves is in support. Flick round the corner. It will break for Neves. Now Nathan Collins takes over, the former Clarets defender. Still 0-0 here on the TC Hub. The ball play forward again. Still trying to wrap my brains what's the best Premier League game I've ever done and what's my best Premier League moment. So many to choose from, it's unbelievable. Here's Ait-Nouri now for Wolves. In towards Gaidis, who wasted a couple of good opportunities himself. Can he get the angle possibly for the shot? Martinho might. Oh, that's a poor ball. And in the end, Spurs come away with it. But it's Wolves who are just camped inside this Tottenham area now as they play the ball out here to Ruben Neves. Neves knocking it forward again. They're looking to try and get the ball into the Tottenham box if they can at this stage. Still no goals. And the ball play forward and it deflects away. And it comes out once more to Ait-Nouri. Can he take on his man? He can. The ball played into the area. Chances here for Wolves. Oh, and across the face. And Lloris takes the ball. That was a wonderful play to play this from Wolverhampton Wanderers. Ait-Nouri got the ball. Played it inside. He went on for the return as it happened. And good defending there. Good take from the goalkeeper. Did absolutely superbly. Kavitsky now coming towards the right-hand side for Tottenham. And a foul there. Free kick. Harry Kane will be lucky to get on the end of any set plays. This is one of his headers that crashed against the crossbar. And then the rebound was into the arms of Sarr, but Spurs are coming close. They came close there a few moments ago. There's Kane again, turns it forward. And it comes out to Son Heung-min on the edge of the penalty area. Other games taking place today. These are 3 o'clock games. Palace Villa, Everton Forest, Fulham Brentford, Leicester Southampton, 5:30 Bournemouth against Arsenal. And on Sunday, 2 o'clock kickoffs, Leeds, Chelsea and West Ham Brighton, Manchester City, Newcastle, Manchester City at 4:30. And then Manchester United, Liverpool at 8 o'clock. Just to remind you, the 2 teams are unchanged from the first half. So I won't run through the 2 lineups again, just to let you know. Still 0-0, but it's been a more open type of second half at the moment. Bruno Lage down below us. And Antonio Conte, of course, got fined 15 grand yesterday after an FA inquiry found both him and Thomas Tuchel guilty of misconduct charge, bringing the game into disrepute after their spat at the end of the game on Sunday between Spurs and Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. This Wolves come charging forward. We've had 10 minutes of the second half, still 0-0. 12:45 kickoff, or 12:30 kickoff we started, and it's been a decent watch. Coutinho now takes possession on halfway. Coutinho marauders forward. Again picks out Aït-Nouri. Aït-Nouri now on again. Can't pick out there. Try to play the 1-2 with Daniel Podence, as it turned out. That's a foul by Aït-Nouri. That's going to be the first bookable offence on referee Simon Rupert of Swindon. And there's the offence. Yeah, it's tagged him back there, Aït-Nouri on Karbinski. That's been a good feature of the game. As Son Heung-min has got him behind. Was he offside? I'm not quite sure. But it was a great opportunity, and I think Son Heung-min knows that I think the flag would have stayed down as well. What a good opportunity that might have been for the Tottenham Hotspur there. So still no goals here. We've had 56.5 minutes of play here. Live audio commentary. Here comes Emerson Royale down this right-hand side. Aït-Nouri winning the header. Now Bentancur infield to IBA, and he was barged down. The referee says no. Referee Simon Hooper said that's a fair challenge. It was a fair shoulder charge. And now Wolves get the free kick just 10 yards shy of halfway. And it's starting to kick off a little bit here. Players surrounding the referee on both sides. Well, Spurs reckon that was a free kick there for a foul by Matheus Nunes, the new signing from Sporting Club Portugal. And then Podence wrestled to the ground by Ivan Perisic. And Son Heung-min was onside as that from that earlier chance. It was his bad chest control. And in fact, Nathan Collins got back there and saved Wolves with a late challenge, with a very good challenge. Coutinho comes off, and we're going to see, looks like Leandro Dendoncker is coming to come on. So he is the first substitution of the afternoon. They can make up to 5 substitutions, Wolves. They're going to make the second one. And it's the unmistakable Raul Jimenez with the headband, of course. He had that horrible injury when they played in the Europa League a couple of years back. He comes on to replace Daniel Podence. So a free kick to be taken by Collins then. Short. In fact, he's had some pre-season injuries. They've delayed his start of the season. It's his first appearance for Wolves, albeit as a substitute. Aït-Nouri gets possession now. Finds Max Kilman, now Nathan Collins, who's looked really good today, I have to say. In defence, the Bournemouth Clarets man. Doing really well at his new club. All the Burnley players that have moved on have gone to really good, ambitious clubs. As Collins again gets possession. And this patient build-up from Otto this time for Wolves. As The ball comes back 50-50 in terms of possession now. It's in quite a battle now in the second half. But Spurs have come into it a little bit as Wolverhampton takes the ball just inside his penalty area and he's able to claim the ball back. There's been a goal in the game at Hartlepool United. It's a half-time score, actually. Hartlepool won, Bradford City won, so there's been an equaliser in that one. So Bradford being held there 1-1 in League Two. Early kick-off there. They kicked off at 1 o'clock, incidentally, in that game. Ball played out towards Son Heung-min. And it will reach him now. Son Heung-min to Banton Kerr. Banton Kerr plays a nice ball out there to Dejan Kovitsky. Can he run at his man? He's got Emerson Royal in support. Is he onside? The question, that's the question. The answer was yes. And Tottenham win a corner. We've played an hour. Half an hour to play. Still 0-0. And it's going to be, is it going to be Kubicki? Is he going to leave it for Perisic, I wonder? No, it looks as if Kubicki might take this. He's gone short to Perisic, to Son Heung-min, as it turns out. Back to the edge of the area. Royal can dink one into the penalty area towards the far post. They claim a handball there, Wolves. Tottenham, they will check it on the VAR, but I'm sure it's nothing. And now here come Wolves again on the break. And it's going to be Pedro Neto. The game is becoming rather stretched. Neto's crossed into the penalty area and turned away once more. And what a good second half this is turning out to be. Now, was there a penalty there, Collins? Was there a handball? Ooh, not really for me. I don't think you could give it for that. And not only that, Nathan Collins was unwittingly unawares there. So I don't think you could even give a penalty even for that. Anyway, here's Neves on the ball for Wolves, who have been good value even for a point at this stage, if not all three. Here's Collins coming, charging forward, marauding forward if he can at this first opportunity. Nice ball out here to Aït-Nouri. This is good football from Wolves. Getting really sharp on the ball. Nunez looks a good player as well by the looks of it. Here's the shot coming in, deflected by Spurs from an attempted shot by Guedes, and now Kavitsky is the furthest man forward for Spurs, but there are four, maybe Wolves defenders plus the goalkeeper back. He'll have to do it alone. Kane is up in support, so to his son. It's Harry Kane, and it's well blocked. It's well blocked there by the Wolves defenders. And here's IBA once again, taking it up there for... But Tottenham, don't forget, if you want to comment, please do. Keep your comments clean. Kavitsky well with a shot into Son. Son turns it goalwards, and I think the goalkeeper may have touched that behind. Son trying to make that point permanently clear. So too is Harry Kane there surrounding the referee, Wolves, Tottenham rather. Did the goalkeeper get a touch here? I think he did. I think Son has got a case here. I think this is a save. If it was a slightest spare, but I'm not so sure now. I think he might have hit the outside of the post. It's a goal kick to Wolves, as it turns out. Maybe a bit of frustration starting slowly away to creep into Tottenham's way of thinking here. Simon Hooper says, let's get on with the game. Quite right. Ball over the top. Kavitsky flicks on. Højbjerg's there too. Good football again. Ben Davies marauding forward from the back. So too is Perisic. Perisic with the shot. Charged away for a corner. Good football again from Tottenham. Looking really classy now in this second half when they weren't so classy in the first. Son's going to take the corner, I fancy, from this near side again. Up our side this time, the left-hand side. I think we'll have more Premier League football over the weekend as the ball comes in, and Harry Kane from 6 yards scores inevitably. And that's his second goal of the season to give Wolves, or to give Tottenham the lead. Little flick on at the near post, and Kane came flying in there to make it 1-0. And it's harsh really on Tottenham when you look at the final analysis Well, harsh on Wolves rather, but well, they say form is temporary, class is permanent. And Harry Kane shows just why. There's a flick on by Perisic. He's not offside on the first instance. And on the second phase, he gets away from Nathan Collins. And easy as you like, into the back of the net. And Tottenham get themselves the lead. And if you base it on the first 20 minutes of the second half, they'll say it's a lead that's deserved. But if you base it over the 65 minutes that have been playing, it's a tough old... It's really massively tough on Wolves, who have been good value for at least something here from Spurs today. Antonio Conte, no sign of emotion. Spurs in the lead then, 185th goal, and that's the most. That's the most goals, Premier League goals ever scored for Tottenham in the history of the Premier League, 30 years or so now. Now, Wolves have got it all to do because Spurs have got themselves up now. And maybe Wolves may just drop down a little bit. Tottenham could be heading forward, and Wolves went forward as well. And the shot from Mateus Nunes deflected. It will be a corner. For the deflection, I think, of Davinson Sanchez. So plenty for Bruno Lage and his troops to do here. And there's also it's a bit of a free-for-all there. Neves has been bashed off the ball. Well, we were looking at a replay of the deflected shot from the corner, and the referee's got some sorting out to do. So without knowing the full situation, well, let's see what happened then. Well, Harry Kane is there, and look at that. And I think Harry Kane there might be being called to the referee. And if I have to say, I think that's definitely, if not a red card, a definite yellow card. Yellow for Kane, yellow for Collins for the reaction afterwards. And I think that's probably about right. But it wasn't very so gentlemanly from Harry Kane, who's normally a very level-headed sort of bloke when he's out on the field. That's over the corner for Wolves. Can they get their equaliser flicked on? And in fact, the referee is blown for a foul in the penalty area. Free kick to Tottenham. 67 minutes gone on the TC Hub. Foul there on Eric Dyer. Spurs leading. Harry Kane with the goal. 64 minutes. I'm sure there was much wrong with that, to be honest with you, but rest will blow up for any old thing these days. So still, no. Well, it's a 1,000 goal, incidentally, they've scored at home in the Premier League. Tottenham, 1,000 goals. Some going if you can do it. Tottenham really have. They're getting their act together slowly away this season. They've got a very good man to do it in Antonio Conte. They've got Champions League football to look forward to this season. Coming up next month anyway. Here comes Spurs on the break, looking for this second one. Can they find it? Oh, he made a good forward dash towards the penalty spot, and in the end, Wolves got it out, and Antonio Conte really seen his presence. It was a good break from Ivan Perisic, the Croat, who had broken away there. So we're halfway through the second half, and it's still 1-0 to Tottenham over Wolves. Live on the TC Hub and all the platforms going with it, including JB Sports, Storm FM, and TC Hub 2. We're also on Twitch at twitch.tv. And we're also on, we've got a Twitter handle at Commentary Live 1 as the ball's flicked in. Might drop to Kenny inside the area. Ignurum had a bit of a dog's dinner in getting it away. Will be a corner though for Tottenham. There's a little bit up and underish there. Davinson Sanchez going for that one. And Emerson Royale too. There may have been a slight handball there by Nori, but his arms were down by his side. And we're going to see a Wolves substitution, the third of the game. Adama Traore is about to come on there, just taping up his socks. Son Heung-min to take another corner. They score from the last corner they had. Spurs, can they do it again? From the near side, on the same side as before, the left-hand side, punched away by Sarr, the keeper. Wolves, of course, having a slow start to proceedings, but you think there's no room for panic at this stage of the season. They'll pick up points, sure enough, Bruno Lodge's side as the season wears on. I know it'll be a tough one on them today if they do go on to lose this game. Still another 20 minutes. And you never know. You never know your luck. Anything can happen in this game of football. They've certainly done all the attacking, but Spurs have certainly gone at them now. And here's Emerson Royal. Kabinski, he take on his man. Good challenge. Good committed challenge once again by Nuri. To say he's done well against Kabinski. Whatever he's done, he's kept him to a minimum. And in fact, Semedo is going to come on as well. Nuri has gone off. And Neto is going off for Wolves to be replaced by Adama Traore. In fact, while I'm on the subject of Traore, he features in the game that I actually enjoyed commentating on most. A few years back now when they played Manchester City and they came from 2 goals down against Manchester City. We were down to 10 men because Edison had got sent off and they won 3-2. So that's my favourite commentary from doing Premier League for 6 years on JB Sports and TC Hub. That's for Premier League moment. Hard to say. I might have to be a little biased here. I'm going to go for Burnley's first goal in the Premier League back in 2009. Robbie Blake, one of the great goals. And it always gets replayed and replayed on my television at home. As the boys back to the goalkeeper again. Oh, that's a poor ball from Jose Sarr, not like him. Or rather, Luis. Now then, could be a problem here. Semedo trying the shot. And the foul there. And a free kick. It was Neves on Son. Or Son on Neves. I think Neves made a bit more of it than it needed to be, but nevertheless, it is a Wolves free kick in a very promising position for them. Dangerous one for Tottenham. The ball will have to be back a good 10 yards, of course. This is where now the nervousness will come into the Tottenham camp. Hugo Lloris will have to make sure that wall is fully lined up. There's 4 in the wall, including Dyer, Kane, Bantonker and Perisic. It's Ruben Neves for Wolves. Oof! Just wide of the right-hand post. It was a terrific right-footed free kick. And I think it may have hit the bottom of that right-hand post. Let's have a look again from the opposite angle. No, it hits the side netting. It's a bit closer from one angle than what it actually was from another angle, if you see what I mean. We're going to see number 19, Jason Young, and we're going to see Richarlison as well coming on, the former Everton man. Only, of course, as well as the Hull City. As now the old goal would come charging forward again with Semedo. They might have to go backwards a little bit here to try and come forward. Jose Sarr now in an all-purple outfit gets the ball away. We come towards Raul Jimenez. The ball comes back towards Hugo Lloris, all in green. And the ball breaks kindly now. Harry Kane On it goes now to Kavitsky from Emerson Royal. Royal continues his run down the right-hand side. Hoiberg in possession now. Spurs just patiently playing the ball from side to side, knowing that they're a goal up and very much in control of this game. And here comes Den Donker now, the substitute, to knock it out once more. There they go. A free kick in fact has been given to Wolves. Is it a throw in? I think it's a throw in to Wolves. Quarter of an hour to go. Substitution time for Tottenham Hotspur. Richarlison's certainly one of them that's going off. Son Heung-min not had his best game, but certainly produced the corner which led to the goal scored in the 64th minute by Harry Kane. He's lost the 75 minutes. Richarlison now, the new signing from Everton. He comes on to replace Son Heung-min. There he is, with the white crop of hair. Sure if it's a blonde streak or a white streak. Evan Perisic comes on, and Ryan Sessegnon replaces him. As the changes now ring here. As we are going towards the business end of the game. 1-0, Tottenham still lead. Elsewhere, it's still 1-0 to Rangers, and it's 1-1 in the League 2 match between Hartlepool and Bradford City. That incidentally kicked off at 1 o'clock. I apologise. I apologise there for the interference in the back. As now Wolves come on the break. As Wolves come on the break again. Apologies again. As Semedo goes into the penalty area. Or what's going towards the penalty area. Again, apologies. If you heard in the background, still 1-0. The ball now with Wolves. Traore. And here's Jimenez. I do apologise for what happened there. We'll just bear with us a second. As Traore went on a good run there. But it's out for a throw. 13 minutes to play. It's all been happening on the field and off the field with the commentary. Apologies for the background noise. As Ben Davies now has to turn down the cul-de-sac. Ball comes away once again. 13 to play. And Richarlison gets it on halfway. Richarlison runs into traffic, gets his first real touches of the game. And the ball spread out once again now. Harry Kane on the chase, but it's Kavitsky now. Kane waits in the middle. Richarlison waits there too. Ball laid in towards Richarlison, who couldn't get the header on it. And that would have been a nice way to get his first goal for Tottenham if he'd just gone in the end of that and tried to direct it goalwards. As Benton Kerr now in possession. Good open game now from Tottenham. They're playing some really good stuff second half. Wolves dominated the first. Tottenham, you can't deny, have dominated most of the second. And one thing has to be made abundantly clear, that Tottenham Hotspur have played really better second half. They must have had a rocket up their backside, so to speak, from manager Conte as the ball is spreaded out again to Kavitsky. Kavitsky now tries to get the cross in. It's far too close to Jose, so catches in under no relative pressure. Then slips as he kicks away from the edge of his penalty area. Jimenez has got away here. He's got players waiting in the centre if he can get his head up. Still. Oh, Jimenez just lost it at the crucial moment. I was just going to say he had Guedes up, Neto up. Well, he didn't have Neto up, but he had there was a great opportunity there anyway. There's been a red card in the game at Rangers, at Hibernian Rangers. In fact, there's been goals going in that game. Well, I'll bring you up to date now. Boyle equalised for Hibernian. Then Rangers, 7 minutes later from Lawrence, scored. So Boyle 51, Lawrence 58, Hibernian 2, Rangers 1. There's been a red card now after 60 minutes in that game. Lundstrom has been sent off, and in fact, there's been 2 red cards. Morales has been sent off. So ill discipline for Rangers, but they're leading 2-1 against Hibernian. I don't know what happened there, but there's been 2 red cards for Rangers players as the ball is played back across the face of the goal. So just to confirm that Lundstrom is off, and also Morales is sent off as well. So that's not good news if you're a Rangers supporter. If you're a Tottenham fan, however, your team's winning 1-0, but it's not been a convincing lead because Wolves are very dangerous on the break. 10 minutes to play for stoppage time here on the commentary hub. Remember, Russ will bring you 4 classified updates later this afternoon around about 5 o'clock. Something that the BBC radio aren't doing these days. Final third entries, 34 to Tottenham, 44 to Wolves. And still, at the moment, I do apologise for the background noise. As Wang now comes on for Wolves, Guedes is off. As Wolves look for this elusive equalising goal. And it's going to be Neves to take the free kick. Let's just check the goal summary. 64 minutes, 1-0 it is. Tottenham leading by a late goal from Harry Kane, or 64th minute goal from Harry Kane.
We appear to have lost JB for a moment or two there, so I'll just bring you up to date until we get JB back with us. And it's Wolves who's coming forward now down this left hand side. Wangi Champ delivers a ball in, is headed away by Tottenham, comes out to Ruben Neves, he plays across the left hand side, is cleared away from by Sessegnon after of course came into the penalty area. Richarlison now picks up possession for Tottenham up against Collins. We'll bring JB back in a second as Richarlison comes forward towards the penalty area. Richarlison is still going, and Richarlison goes down inside the penalty area. Tottenham want a penalty. Richarlison stays down. 82 minutes on the clock. It's Tottenham 1, Wolves 0. We'll just have a quick look at this incident again, then we'll fetch JB in as he ran into the penalty area. No penalty that for me, as Richarlison just ran straight across, played the ball across, and Neves and Richarlison ran into each other. No penalty there for me, as we now bring you back in and bring you back your match commentator, JB.
Thanks, Ross. Well, I lost signal there for a second, but I'm back now with you. My view of that penalty appeal, I'm a bit like Ross there. I thought Richarlison was just looking for it a bit. But having said all that, Kane's goal, didn't he take it so well? And they broke the offside trap tremendously well. Spurs, incidentally, are about to make a change. I'm not sure who it is, but we'll let you know in the fullness of time. 83 gone, still 1-0 to Tottenham. And Wolves, it's not another poor clearance there from Jose Sarr. He's capable of a lot better than that. And he does admit it to his colleagues at the end of the day. Here's Harry Kane now taking it on the chest, trying to work something here. And here come Wolves. Can they work some magic here with Wang now, the substitute? He's got pace to burn, this fella. And he's going down the left-hand side. Wang has got 3 in all goal in the penalty area. Here's Semedo cutting the ball back. They deserve at least something from this game if they can just get a bit of luck, maybe. Kabitsky now tangling with 2 Wolves players. One of them was Collins. Nothing wrong with the challenge, says Mr. Hooper, the referee from Swindon in Wiltshire. Here's Here's Aldama Traore. Traore running at his man. I've still got to look at the Man of the Match award as well. As the ball comes in towards Wang again on this left-hand side. Wolves looking for something to try and dig themselves out of a hole here. Wang has possession. Back it goes again to Kilman. And it goes now to Ruben Neves. Now then, Traore. This guy's got pace and he's got skill. Ball playing into the penalty area. And it's hooked behind by Royal. Is it for a corner? It is. And then Donker needs to get on with it quickly. Let's just see again on replay who came off last. It looked like Royal came off first. So let's have a look at it again from the touchline view. Did it? So I'm not sure. It is a corner. I was right the first time. Neves to take it. Fourth Wolves corner. Spurs have had 8. Score from there. Score for one of their 8. Can Spurs and Wolves answer back the same. As Neves sends the corner in, it's a poor corner, if I'm being totally frank. And it's easy for Spurs to get it away. Wang loses possession. And now a chance here for Tottenham to break. And it's looks like Højbjerg is going forward. He's going towards the corners. And it was Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. What a brilliant inspired run. It buys Tottenham more territorial advantage. And with 5 minutes to go, I think that's probably the wisest thing he could have done in the circumstances. Just buy Spurs a bit of time now. As we come up to the last 4 minutes of the second half, plus any injury or stoppage time to be played. Don't forget, Paul James will bring you one of the Sunday games, whether live or recorded tomorrow. Basuma replaces Kravitsky. He's the new signing from Brighton, incidentally, Basuma. And also, the classified check will be with Russ Spurning at 5 o'clock if you want to listen to that. So, yeah. Well, BBC might not do classified football results anymore, but we at the commentary hub might start making a weekly habit out of it for all those people. And there's quite a lot of you out there that still do the polls. So we'll do that for everybody there. When they actually classified results on the Beeb, it was like morning for me. Grew up with Sports Report and programs like that growing up as a kid on radio, on BBC Radio, but they don't have the results. But we certainly do at the commentary hub and other media outforms. We'll still keep doing classified results. And Russ Burning will be your man at 5 o'clock. We're going to see Lucas Laban. We're going to see Lucas now come on. As Spurs now look to try and just make sure that he do the game management well and get the 3 points and get this game done and dusted. Antonio Conte now having a few choice words to say to his bench. He's a very feisty character, the Italian, but he gets results. He is a born winner. He's won titles with Juventus. He's done well with Italy. He won the title with Chelsea, of course. His previous Premier League club. He's got it all in his locker. He's a terrific man manager. As Emerson Royal takes the throw to Harry Kane again. They're into the corner flags. And we're coming up to the 88th minute. Up to 88 minutes played. It's been a tough baptism of fire for Tottenham. Had a good win against Southampton, 4-1 on opening day. Then they laboured to a 2-2 draw last week against Chelsea. And now today, they sort of laboured a bit against Wolves. We've given them a right old game today. As Emerson Royal is presumably suffering from a bit of cramp there. And so he's going to try and run that off. He's only got a couple of minutes plus injury time now to hang on. But it looks as if it's going to be 7 points out of 9. But Tottenham, they will go, I think, top of the table. I don't know where that will leave Wolves, but we'll soon find out once the final whistle sounds in a few moments from time. As here comes Semedo now for Wolves, back inside again. And now the ball threaded out by Núñez, who missed 2 glorious opportunities towards the end of the first half, you may recall. And it's turned out for a corner. It was a deflected cross there. In fact, it was a cross there which Sanchez had to head behind, so it's a corner as we come right to the end now. Last minute of normal time. Then we'll get indication from fourth official Rob Jones how long more on top of that is going to be. Neves with the corner from the near side. Heads go up. It's going to come off a Tottenham head. It'll be a close corner on the other side now. The right-hand side, the far side as I look. 30 seconds to go of normal time at the end of the game. Can Wolves save a point that on balance they at least deserve, if not 3 points? Collins is forward, then Donker is forward, Kilman is forward. The Wolves fans believe Neves has got the ball. We'll tee it up on the corner quadrant now on the far side. Can Wolves find a way through? We're into stoppage time. 4 added minutes. The cross comes into the penalty area. It's a deep one. Beyond everybody. Comes to Wang now on the left. Wang has to go back inside and has to go backwards to Semedo. Semedo chips the ball into the penalty area. Up go the heads. It's off the Wolves' head. It's a goal kick to Tottenham. And Jimenez tried to flick it on, but he completely miscued his flick on there, and it's behind. So 4 minutes. Bruno Lage ain't happy with Mr. Robert Jones, the fourth official down there on the touchline. He's fuming. Wolves have not won in previous 9, but they are going to be beaten again today by the looks of it. But performance-wise, plenty of positives for Wolves to take out of. It's just that they just haven't been able to find the back of the net at any crucial opportunities, and I think that's what's probably going to cost them in the end, unless they can find a goal in the next 3 minutes, just save them a point. They will be winless in 10, but however, it would be a good point on the road against a very good Tottenham side, who haven't been at their world-beaten best like they were against Southampton a couple of weeks ago. Here's Semedo to Wang. And then what can the Wolves man do here? Wang cuts inside, tries the shot right-footed. Would have been a very ambitious shot to beat Hugo Lloris from about 25 yards just to the left of the penalty box. And Collins has lost it to Richarlison, and here goes Kane. It's 1 against 2, though, in Wolves' favour. But I think Kane is very content to go to the far side corner flank. He has Richarlison in support if he needs to. He's got support as well. Richarlison racing the centre. And unfortunately, Session's cross couldn't find Richarlison. It was an attempted cross, sort of stroke cut back in the end. And here's, at the end now, Adama Traore. Wolves haven't been able to get him into the game as much as they would have liked. Here's Nunes. Nunes' cross is a deeper one, but it's too close to the goalkeeper. There's been elsewhere. It's 2-2 now in the game at Hibs. Campbell with a late equaliser. So Wolves, Hibernian have got at least a point from that game between them and the 10 men of Rangers. As we now go into the last minute and a half now of stoppage time. Kane takes the ball on the edge of the area, feeds it into Højbjerg. Højbjerg tries to slot the shot in from 20 yards, and it's an easy save for Jose Sarr, and Sarr kicks out from his hands. Forward it goes, flick on by Jimenez into no man's land. Lloris will grab the ball. Bruno Lage is frustrated with rage down below me in the technical area. He knows that was a wasteful opportunity. I think he was bellowing at his goalkeeper there. Looks like it's another defeat for Bruno Lage. He's frustrated. You can understand his feelings. But his side have played really well. If there is positive to take out of it, that the fact of the matter is his team have played well. They just haven't been able to finish. 9 men of Rangers. Yes, thank you for correcting me there. My producer just making sure that Antonio Conte, it's not been an impressive performance by his side by any stretch. It's been much improved second half from a dire first half. Here's Richarlison looking to accelerate. All we needed. Side netting. The ball didn't go in the back of the net. It's side netting. Half the ground thought it had gone in, but it hadn't. It was a good run there by Richarlison, whose goals kept Everton up last season. Previous club, and Wolves now so ragged. And Bantonker just knocks the ball out of play for a goal kick. We've now played the 4 minutes. It's down to Mr. Hooper's discretion how much longer there's going to be on top of this. And I don't think there's going to be much else because IBA raises his fist in celebration because Wolves have won it. Well, Tottenham have won it rather. A goal to nil. There's no kick-off of handshakes between the two managers. It's all cordial down there, I'm pleased to report. I don't think Antonio Conte wants another 15 grand fine. Kane puts Tottenham up to first with a 64th-minute winner. Wolves dropped 2 places to 16th and only have 1 point from 3 games. But a very good result for Tottenham Hotspur. But of course, that lead at the top could be temporary if other results do go. Just to remind you, other games kicking off in about half an hour. Palace, Villa, Everton, Forest, Fulham, Brentford, Leicester, Southampton, Bournemouth, Arsenal, 5:30. Then Sunday at 2, Leeds, Chelsea, West Ham against Brighton, and Newcastle against Manchester City. And then the big one at 8 o'clock Monday evening, Manchester United against Liverpool. What a game that promises to be. But the result on the opening game of match day 3 of the Premier League sees Tottenham edge out Wolves in an absolute tight-knit game by a goal to nil. Plenty of positives for Wolves to take, but no points, I'm afraid. Harry Kane's goals won it. He's second of the season. He's finished here as Tottenham Hotspur 1, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0.
JB, just before we do let you shoot off, my friend, just one quick question for you, because you didn't give it during the 90 minutes because of the jam-packed action towards the end. Can we have your player of the match sponsored by Community Services, please?
I knew there was something I forgot. I'm going to give it actually to. I'm going to give it the goal scorer Kane. I actually thought he was bright second half. He looked very good. If Wolves had scored, then probably they'd given it to him. But it was a tight game. It's hard to pick out individual performances, but I think you've got to give it to Kane. He does have boundless energy up and down the field. So for that reason, I'd give it to him. But let's just put it this way, Russ. Before I leave you, Wolves played their part. I know Wolves fans will be disappointed again today, but they played really well in a lot of periods of the game, and I have no doubts that their bad start to the season will be a distant memory. I can't see them hanging around the bottom for too much longer. But so Spurs had the class, and Kane showed it.
Thank you very much there, JB. As JB mentioned, Tottenham go a point clear of Manchester City and Arsenal. They play later in the weekend. Manchester City play tomorrow against Newcastle, which is a game that Paul James will be bringing you commentary of. Whether that's going to be live or on a recorded stream. And Bournemouth take on Arsenal later, could go top of the Premier League. Wolves, with that defeat, remaining 16th and could go into the bottom 3 should Everton, Southampton get a victory this afternoon. West Ham, if they win at 2 o'clock tomorrow, they could see and other teams above them. West Ham could climb out of the bottom 3, and effectively, should results go against Liverpool prior to Monday night, Liverpool could be in the bottom 3. So we'll, just before we do in a second or so, just quickly just to tell you, in the Scottish Premiership, it finished Hibernian 2, Rangers 2 is a full-time scoreline in that one. Bradford City have retaken the lead against Hartlepool United. They lead by 2 goals to 1. But in our match that JB covered for you this afternoon, kicking off at 12:30, it finished Tottenham Hotspur 1, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0. I'll be back around about 5 o'clock this evening to go through the Premier League, Championship, League 1, League 2, National League North, Scottish Premiership, Scottish Championship, Scottish League 1. Results for this afternoon. So from myself and from JB, a very good evening, very good afternoon to you all, and I'll see you later on in the day. More of us here right now. Goodbye.